I'm Ashton from Cincy Business. On this first episode of My Convo With, we will be talking with one of your favorite foodie influencers here in Cincinnati. I had the wonderful privilege of being able to talk with her a couple weeks ago, and we were able just to dive in a little bit about bookkeeping, of course, and just small business in general. I hope you enjoy this conversation I had with Melissa of Cincy Curly Foodie Travel Girl.
A brand new series put on by me, Ashton of Cincy Business Services, talking to local influencers and small business owners about bookkeeping and small business and everything in between.
Thank
Hi,
you
Ashton.
so much. Thank you so much for coming to talk with me. Seriously, I have been following you for, probably since I started my business. I think you said 2 years.
Around since the beginning. I think.
Yes, literally
like it's been over a year. Because I think we're both only 2 years old on this space.
Yes. So I've been following you for a while. And I've seen just like the growth has been insane and awesome. And so I'll just say congratulations because you are killing it. And I don't know how many videos of yours that I have saved, but I do have a whole little folder. I'm like, okay, Tyreek, we got to go to this place. We got to go to this place. You're giving us very many date night ideas. So
that's what I'm here for.
Yes. And I love it. So I really am excited that you agreed to talk with me because I think that this will be a good conversation for my audience to kind of see someone that they probably already see. And it's like, you can make a business out of influencer marketing. And I know you didn't necessarily start out wanting to necessarily make it that, but at this, just from our conversations, that might be something where you're like working towards. And so I thought it would be cool to kind of talk about it, to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah.
So first, where did this come from? Like, where did this idea of starting to post about food and local businesses and all of that? Like, why did you even care to want to start doing something like that?
So for me, I'm not from Cincinnati. I grew up on the East Coast. I moved here to marry my husband.
Same.
Oh, did you? Where are you from?
Yes, I'm from Indiana.
Oh, okay. And then you were just Cincinnati because this is where he lived.
Yes.
Same here. So this is where my husband lives. So this is, we love a good Midwestern boy.
Yes.
We do love that.
Yes.
They're just so sweet. But when it's funny marrying my husband, I hate to put him on blast like this. He coming from the East Coast because I lived right underneath New York. So him coming to visit me, he's like, "Whoa, you're right." And I'm just like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
But I was blown away by Cincinnati, and he was just like, "Well, Cincinnati, it's just okay." You're not dragging me halfway across the country and you're gonna tell me my new home is lame. You're not gonna tell me this.
Yes.
For me, I actually turned to social media to find out things to do. So it was seeing other food, travel, things to do bloggers. Then I found cool things to do. And I even found that local people, when I made friends here, they were like, "Well, what are you doing?" Because I was always going somewhere different. And my friends, they were just going the same couple of places every week. And I'm like, I can't be about that.
Yes.
Can't be me.
Give me some variety.
Yeah, it was just to make Cincinnati my home, really. And I saw these people doing it, and my friends would come to me. It's like, well, I think I just had a moment. Why not me?
Yes.
Why shouldn't I do it too? So that's kind of how my page started. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I totally get it. I moved from Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of already familiar with the Cincinnati. We would come to Kings Island every summer, basically, and it's crazy because I literally do not go to Kings Island. I've not been to Kings Island one time since I've lived here in 7 years. It's
like when you live there, it's like,
yeah, we're not doing this. And also now having kids, I'm like, I just don't see myself getting on a roller coaster right now. With 2 babies, there's no way. I need to be here.
Big enough to get the big coasters. I'm not going on that tiny coaster. Get out of here.
Yes. Yes. No, I totally get it. Wanting to see Cincinnati for what it is. My husband, he loves Cincinnati. He is it is the best thing ever. And I really love it, honestly. Every time I come in from the Kentucky side and I just drive to, you see the bridge and the lights.
Oh, I'll never get over it.
It's beautiful. Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It really is. I really do enjoy it. And following your page, I did not realize the Cincinnati the Cincinnati small business culture is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cincinnati foodie culture is huge. I'm like, there's so many people posting about Cincinnati food. This is foreign to me because where I'm from is a small town. Nobody was posting like that. It also could be just me being on Instagram more and seeing this, but I'm like, this is awesome. This is giving me so many ideas. Like, I love this.
Well, and I love it too, because I think it helps show that Cincinnati is a contender with major cities.
Yes.
We are a contender for great food, great fun, and we're still we are more than affordable in comparison to other cities. Like, there's so many places where you can get a view of downtown Cincinnati and only pay between $10 to $15 for a cocktail. That same view in New York, you're paying $40 for that cocktail. It's like ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
we pay a lot less to have similar experiences.
Yes. No, that's awesome. And you are so right. It is definitely a contender for sure. And I think following people like you helps us to know that. Because I'm like, I didn't even know this place was here. Like, what? I didn't know restaurants like this was here. Like, this is
That's
awesome.
right. It's help you find out it's here.
Yes. So with that, you've been doing this now for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the, I guess, influencer, foodie, marketing, travel, all of that, you can make money doing it.
Yeah, you can. I was surprised by that because I started my account thinking, I'd love to help be a resource as well. I'd love to be your Cincinnati guide as well.
Yes.
But my account within year one grew rapidly, and I did not expect that kind of growth. And then with that, then people started to reach out, and then opportunities to for me to get paid. And I'm like, are these emails real? I'm like thinking, are these fake emails? And this is happening.
Yeah.
And so now I'm in a place where I truly have a foodie background. I went to culinary school. I currently work in healthcare, and I don't really know. I did not expect this to pop off. I did not expect to even be profitable. And even, to be honest, I'm not making a lot of money, but even to make any kind of money. So it was so interesting to have an opportunity to talk to you and just to even make people aware that you exist and what your role is and how you can help people like me that have kind of fallen into their side hustle or kind of fallen into, oh my goodness, I'm starting to make money. What do I
do with this?
Business? Like where do you fit in with this? So
yeah. And and I totally get that, because so many of the business owners that I work with now did not necessarily set out to make it their business, but then it just, like you said, it just popped off, and now they're like, what do I do with all of this money? And how do I report it? And what does that even mean? Like, am I going to go to jail? Like you said?
Right. Oh yeah. I'm always afraid. I don't want to be in jail. Like, I really love being outside of prison. Like
Yes. No, see, yes. We all want to avoid that. And I totally get it. And with a lot of times when it comes to business, it's all about just asking the question. And I think there's way more fear in just not knowing the answer, and you almost would rather sit in the fear of not knowing the answer than just to ask a trusted person and figure it out. Because sometimes learning more knowledge can create more fear, but a lot of times, at least with the business owners that I'm with now, they're like, okay, so I just need to do X, Y, and Z, and then I'll be okay. And I'm like, yeah, just record your expenses. Keep business and personal separate. That's paramount, top of the line, just keep it separate, which is why I was explaining earlier, get that Canvas subscription into the business account. When they get to the point where they want to make it a legit business, they're already busy. And so it's I'm already doing 800 things. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to, I don't have time to do this. And I'm like, yes, but you should just make time, because
just take the time, start it, let it happen. And then let it fall into place. Yeah.
And especially when it comes to your specific niche is travel and food. You probably are using so many miles on your car. And
for sure. Yeah.
I'm sure that your mileage deduction would be significant. And if you're not tracking it, then
I know it's money down the drain, girl. Flushing away.
Because it could be thousands of dollars, honestly. If you are doing if you're pushing out content as often as it looks like you're pushing out content, then you probably have a significant mileage deduction. And that's so easy. Your QuickBooks has a mileage tracker in it, and you just go in there, you turn it on basically. And
seriously is in there?
Yeah. If you go on the app, and maybe I can put a screenshot, honestly, in this video. I can
Well,
cut
why
this
did
part
I
out.
think I would have to like take out a little book? All right. So my car,
No,
100,001 miles. All right, this is when I started my trip, girl.
no. I mean, you could do that, but like, what? No,
That sounds
this is
awful.
2024. This is 2024. No, you can, you can, no. You can, there's a mileage, like when you open the app,
Mm-hmm.
there's literally like a mileage menu item, and you
Mm-hmm.
literally toggle it on. It'll ask you for like your car information, like what kind of car it is and all of that, just for tax purposes. And then every month or every week, you go back and review your trips, and then you mark it as business or as personal. And all the
Okay.
business miles, because it will keep track. You'll probably have to put in your starting odometer reading, and then it will track you from there. And then it will give you a report at the end of the year. And then you take that report, and that'll be your substance to say, I drove X amount of business miles. This is my mileage deduction. So,
You know what? I guess I'm gonna start hitting that button in QuickBooks.
yes. Seriously. And that for people who are doing kind of similar work that you're doing, that's going to be a big expense for you all, because you are going to these places.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely away from your home. And if you were to travel, I mean, I know you travel too. So any of your travel expenses, if you were traveling for business, I mean, you can use that as an expense.
I'm not quite that level of big time yet.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know.
One day, the Four Seasons is like, hey, come stay here and
oh my goodness,
do our room service and all the things. Man, that would be awesome. Oh my gosh. Since you have been doing this now for a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think? What is your goal? Like, if you could just, this is my like, this would be amazing if this whole thing can grow to this. Like, do you want to put out like a guide, a Cincy travel guide, or like, do you want to have a website? Do you have a website? Like,
I actually do. I have a little one. It needs it is cincycurlyfoodietravelgirl.com, but it's like a
link in bio. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Link in bio. Yeah, it's like I have a plan to eventually like add more content onto it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like a little starter web page. It's funny, right? Because it's like I'm in a weird place where, like I said, I did not expect it to pop off.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect to have opportunities where there are some brands that offer me money to create content for them. But at the same time, it's also not enough money where it supplants the money that I'm already making on a monthly basis at my current job. So I'm somewhere between side hustle and a business. I don't know if I could make content creation my full-time gig. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm in a place right now where that is a reality. Mm-hmm. If at some point it did, that would be amazing. So mm-hmm. I think for me, I don't feel like I make that much money. I really don't. But I'm straddling the line where, is this a side hustle? Is this a business? But at the end of the day, I just want to make sure whatever I do, it's legal.
Yeah.
Everything is good. And like everything is happy with Uncle Sam.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I mean, I think that would be awesome. And I think you definitely could get there for sure. And the business side of things is intimidating. Mm-hmm. And it does make it so you're like, I just don't know if I really want. I mean, I think I have one person who has been messaging me too. And they're like, I just am scared to get the LLC. Like, I don't want to, it's like everyone thinks that all of a sudden there's going to be something that, hey, come look at my stuff.
Right. No, I think the IRS, as soon as I file for an LLC, the IRS is like, okay, Melissa has opened a business. Let's file.
Yes.
And I'm like,
let's put a tracker on her now.
Right. They're tracking me now. Like, what is going on? Yeah.
Yes. And that is not happening. That's not happening. But I get it, because the IRS has been made to be, I mean, it is like a serious thing. Don't get me wrong. If you ever have IRS debt or anything, like, you should definitely pay your taxes and like file and all of that.
Oh yeah, no.
But it's real, especially for us small business owners. Like, I mean, I won't downplay it, because my like, somebody's like, no, I actually did get audited and but I mean, as long as you are following the rules and you know the rules, that's one of the biggest things, is not knowing what you don't know. And that's why it is good to have a bookkeeper. That's why hiring a bookkeeper, when you do get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm really trying to make some income with this. Like, I'm really trying to be for real about this. Like, I don't want to mess up my record keeping, because that, like I had said before, record keeping is the biggest, that's the way that you can substantiate all of your income.
Okay.
When it comes to like a small business, is your record keeping. So if you have none, then, or if it's kind of just messy and it just isn't right, then you're either risking yourself of overpaying in taxes, or you're not capturing all of the expenses that you could be. Self-employment, or when you claim self-employment income, there's an additional form that will appear on your taxes. So most of us, we just do a 1040, right?
Yeah.
When you start to when you earn side income, you will then start to fill out a Schedule C, which is an additional document.
Okay.
To see X type of expenses coming from her.
Okay.
You are a food, travel, blogger, influencer, marketing, that type of deal.
Marketing,
so they're going to expect to see X, Y, and Z type of expenses from you. And so that's why it's so good to have accurate records, and someone, even if somebody's at the place where you're at, where it's like, okay, I don't think I need to hire a bookkeeper yet, but maybe before I file, if you are DIYing your taxes, have somebody just look at it before you. That might make you feel better too. Is just have some, like, can you look at my expenses? Yeah. Does this make sense? Like, is this right? Like, I'm going to say that I spent X, Y, and Z on Canva. I'm going to say I spent X, Y, and Z on this. This is what I spent on all the meals that I bought. This is what I spent on my editing. If you ever get to the point where you're like, I don't want to edit my videos anymore, I want to outsource my video editing, that's an expense. And you're like, okay, I spent $300 this year on editors or something. Like, you can put that there. Those all make sense, but you just want to make sure, be like, okay, I'm going to put this number here. I'm going to put this number here. Is this right? Like, does it make sense for me to have these type of expenses with the business that I'm doing? So it's all about just making sure that you record the correct information, record your income, have the 1099s, like you were saying. Like, if you make over the $599 threshold, once it hits the $600, we got to have a 1099 for it.
Right.
And you always just keep track of who owes you 1099s, and make sure you try to get those, every year, and make sure you have those on file for yourself too. Just so that both sides of the equation, they get the W-9 from you, you get the 1099 from them. Always make sure that you get that, just for your own records. And my own record keeping.
It's like, that's one of my biggest fears. My biggest fear is messing up, reporting my income incorrectly, and then I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Yes. Or overpaying in taxes, which I guess you'd rather overpay, but
I mean, okay, no one wants to overpay for anything, right? But then I'm also afraid of, like, the consequences of not doing it correctly either.
Yeah. I think that's part of why I like being a bookkeeper so much, is because I help to relieve people from the fear that they have.
Yeah, fear, anxiety, stress. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't imagine.
I help to just kind of like calm it down a little bit, or at least they can ask me the questions maybe that they would be too afraid to ask a tax preparer or a CPA, because sometimes accountants do have a bad rep of just being intimidating, and nobody wants to call the IRS themselves to buy this certain item or whatever, or is it going to be depreciated or not, or all of these different questions that may come up that you're just nervous about asking somebody. I just like to be a little less. Bookkeepers typically are less intimidating, just because we're the ones who are walking with the business owner on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, sometimes on a weekly basis. I know your business just as well as you do at that point. And so it just helps just have somebody there.
It's really helpful to have someone like you to just be able to look at what's happening with me, what's going on, like, and to help keep track and make sense of the numbers, and like, how am I doing? Am I on track? Am I behind? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah. Is this going to be like a bad thing? Yeah. And two, another benefit is you working. I work with all of my clients around tax time to help, and I communicate with their tax preparer or with their CPA to make that process even smoother for you then too, because tax time is probably one of the most stressful times for business owners in general. Like, are kind of worried about taxes basically all year. But then once it gets to March and April, you're like, okay, what do I do? Like, did I do all of this right? Did I catch up my bookkeeping? Did I do any bookkeeping all year? Let me do all my bookkeeping now, and I'm just there to help you, get you across that line and get your taxes filed, and you can just
because you're working on people like me, people that are small businesses, right? So small businesses, independent contractors, people that even influencers.
Yes. Yeah. Seriously. Yes. And I love, and like you had said, you like working with the small businesses because they are about their family more than that's why they started their business. It's family, and you are affecting someone's actual life. And I think with bookkeeping, I get to help people build whatever it is that they're trying to do for their families. And in turn, they're helping me because I am a business too. You know what I mean? Right. I'm a small business owner myself. And so
you get it.
Yes. The bookkeeping is such an intimate, personal relationship between me and the business owner, because it's I'm directly helping you either go from the side hustle to the business or sustain the business or whatever, which will change your family's life. With its success, which is the goal.
Right.
Which is the goal. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Of course. I love talking with you. I love your content. I love your whole vibe. I love the way that you nerd out for your clients, the way you nerd out about that, because we want someone that's like really into the numbers, that's just like, I'm here for you, and I'm gonna go figure this out for you and give you that peace. And just watching your stuff, just even looking at your content on your page, I've learned a lot, and it just makes me feel like you're someone I can turn to when things get hairy, or just to get me in the right direction. So I appreciate you and what you do.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Seriously. I love you so much, Melissa, seriously, for chatting with me. And I hope you got some kind of, value out of even just our conversations.
Helpful. I want to make sure I do things right. So, and it makes you feel better, gives you less anxiety. And I aim for the least amount of that as possible.
Yes.